to the horror with your host with most general as always. Welcome back, and I have got a special treat for you guys. I literally have been binging Amazon Prime for the last few days. I've been on a little bit of a mini vacation, and I literally have just, like I said, kind of binging on a bunch of random ass shits on Amazon Prime, and this movie, Wacko from 1983, is one of those movies that I totally stumbled upon because Amazon Prime decided to recommend it to me. So I said, hey, why not? And let me tell you, man, this is a trip unto itself. Let me real quickly the cast, some of the cast of this movie before I get into this. We have Joe Don Baker, Stella Stevens, George Kennedy, Andrew Dice Clay in his film debut, and Anthony James. So, yeah, that cast right there, you would think would be a really phenomenal movie, who knows, but literally within, like, the first scene, you know exactly what kind of freaking movie it is, and it is, like I said, a fucking trip. So, beginning of the movie, we have a young girl, well, not like young, like teenage girl, getting ready for a date, and you notice that there's someone peeping through her window, Mr. George Kennedy. She then sees him, gets a little startled, and then literally, and I'm not even sure if this is the exact line, but it goes something like, "Oh, Dad, what are you doing?" And he's all sitting there on a ladder. You realize he's on a ladder. "Oh, nothing, honey. I'm just mowing the lawn." It's like 10 o'clock at night, and he's on a fucking ladder because she's on, like, the second story. And she's all, "Oh, Dad, that's what you always say." Yes! So this is one of those sort of slapstick parroting comedies, and this is actually, because someone on Instagram and I, Beardy Frank, and I were kind of talking about this because I posted it, and they were saying how, oh, okay, I've never seen this, gonna check this out with the husband and everything. Got back to me the next day, and they were saying how, oh my god, they loved it, it was hilarious, but they couldn't really quite figure out what movie they were parroting, and I actually did kind of confirm this on IMDb, that it is parroting Halloween and Prom Night, because here's the thing about this movie. It is, I should probably tell you guys what this movie is about, or the premise that it's trying to have. Basically, there is the Halloween prom coming up, because, like, 13 years later, fast forwards to, like, 13 years later or whatever, but 13 years before, this girl that George Kennedy is looking on, his daughter, ends up getting killed by the lawnmower killer, who literally has a pumpkin head. Yeah, in front of her little siblings, because, yeah, I guess apparently it was her night to watch the kids, even though she was going to the Halloween prom herself, gets murdered. And here's the thing, too, because it's almost, you almost want to, like, make the connection to Silent Night, Deadly Night, but here's the thing, this movie came out in 1983. Silent Night, Deadly Night didn't come out till the following year, so that's really not, maybe Silent Night, Deadly Night kind of took a note from this movie, who knows, but, yeah, so, this one little girl, who was actually her little sister, like I said, sees this and everything, and it scars her for life. Every little time she hears or even sees, like, a lawnmower, it freaks her out, and she's like, "Oh my god, the lawnmower killer! Yeah! So, but here's the thing, too, like I was saying with the, kind of, what it's spoofing, yeah, it's mainly spoofing Halloween and Prom Night, those are really the obvious ones, but I think more so, it was really, when you kind of watch it, it really kind of is parodying all those 80s slashers that were coming out at that time, because they were all getting so, like, ridiculous. I mean, even some of the ones that I really adore and everything, some of the, Slaughter Highs and everything and whatnot. I mean, like, yeah, it's kind of spoofing all of these, so you really have to have, like, a good laugh with this one. And then there's this doctor, or not this doctor, this cop, played by Joe Don Baker, whose name is Dick Harbinger. Yeah. Um, who basically is kind of like our equivalent of Sam Loomis from the Halloween movies, and is so over the top obsessed with catching this lawnmower killer. Like, it's like one of the running jokes between the young girl who has been scarred by this and this cop Harbinger is like, oh, would you give that up? It's been so many years, since that night. It only happened once. Like, give it up. You're obsessed with it. To a point, where, like, the Harbinger guy literally has not showered or anything. He doesn't eat. He smells. He's gross. Always has, like, an unlit cigarette hanging from his mouth. I don't think I ever once saw him light it. And it kind of a little bit of a dirty pig a little bit. Like I said, it just, everything about this is so ridiculous, but it kind of really, really works for this movie. Like, it is hilarious. And even the girl's boyfriend who is scarred by this, like, every time he gets turned on, he sounds like a lawnmower. Like, he can't control, he just, like, oh my god. And this girl gets so freaked out that she cannot have sex with him because she keeps thinking, lawnmower killer, lawnmower killer. And I'm not going to really kind of say who the actual killer is at the end, but you kind of know what's going to happen. I mean, it has all your basic, that's the thing. It kind of throws in all your, stereotypical horror tropes in this. It just really makes fun of it and everything. You got the escaped mental patient and everything that's going to be our obvious red herring. You got the obsessed cop and everything, who once again too, who's like, because everyone's like kind of making fun of him and telling him to give this up, he's like, no, but look, it's the 13th year on the 13th month of the 13th week and blah blah blah. It's like, dude, give it up. Like, all these crazy, like, little things in this movie. It's funny, you guys. If you guys need something that, you really want to watch a horror movie, but you want something funny, you're not really sure, I mean, check this one out. Like I said, it's not going to change your world. It's not so horrible, but it's not so great. It's just one of those movies you have to just check out and have a good time with. Definitely, I would say, have a couple of drinks with this one. Smoke it if you got it. It might make it a little more entertaining. Have a couple of your horror buddies come over and watch this. And that's the other thing, too. I would not really recommend this one to a casual horror fan, but you, my weirdos, my little horror weirdos, cut this one out, because, like I said, I think you guys will have fun with this. Even if you don't really like it, I think you'll have some fun with this one. You'll have a lot of good laughs and everything. Check it out. For those of you who have seen this one, let me know in the comments what you thought of it. Till next time, as always, stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.